Brut, extra brut, dry, off dry, sweet. Have you ever seen any of these words on wine label and thought, what the heck do these mean? Welcome back to Wine Basics. Let's make this simple. Before we dive in too deep, I do need you guys to understand one thing before we get going. These are all going to be in grams per liter of residual sugar. That's just going to be the leftover sugar when you're done making wine. In a comparison to something that we've almost all had, milk is going to be around 50 and Coca-Cola is going to be around 113. So just kind of keep that in your head if you haven't had a super sweet wine or something like that in these ranges that I'm mentioning. There's going to be two different categories we need to talk about. There's going to be still and there's going to be sparkling. So let's start with the sparkling wines. Sparkling wines are going to have all of these options here. Starting off with Brut Nature, this is going to be 0 to 3 and there's technically no sugar added to these. From there, you're going to have Extra Brut, which is just going to be 0 to 6. And then you're going to have your normal Brut, which is going to be 0 to 12. If you notice, all of these are going to be ranges. From there, we're going to jump up to Extra Dry. Extra Dry is going to be 12 to 17, and this is going to be like your 1 on a scale typically. Then you're going to bounce up to Dry, and that's going to be a 17 to 32, and this is going to be like your 2 range. Demi-sec is going to be 32 to 50, and this is going to be your 3 to 4, maybe 4 or 5 range, depending on what you're looking at. And then finally, you're going to have your Doc, which is going to be your 50 plus. So this is going to be the sweetest style that you're going to find in sparkling wines. Now keep those numbers in mind when we go look at the still wines. So still wines are going to have all of these options instead. Starting off with bone dry, this is going to be less than 1. So very, very dry. But next up, we do have dry, which is going to be 1 to 17. From there, we'll bounce over to off dry, which is going to be 17 to 35. Another pretty big jump, but it's going to get bigger when we go to medium sweet. It's going to be 35 to 120, which is a huge gap, and you're going to get a lot of diversity in there, whether it's going to taste super sweet or not super sweet, depending on how well the wine is balanced. And lastly, we just have sweet. This is going to be that 120 plus range, so think a very sweet wine, typically more so your dessert wines that are just going to be a lot of sugar in them. It is important to note that these are just going to be the ranges of what you're typically going to see, and not all of these are always going to taste super sweet or taste super dry. It all depends on how well it's going to be balanced with the acidity, the alcohol, and all the other characteristics of the wine. But hopefully this will make all of these a little bit more simplistic for you guys. Cheers.